Kia ora everyone and welcome back to Civ 5. This is my ultimate faith guide. I'm going to take you through how you accumulate faith, how you spend faith, the different faith units in the game, and take you through some tips and tricks for founding a good religion. I'm also going to be playing as the Celts because they're one of the few civs that actually lets you earn faith without building buildings. So let's jump straight in and talk about how you get faith in Civ 5. There are a few different ways. The first one you can see here is by working certain natural wonders. This one gives 6 faith if it's worked by my city, so I would need to found a city on it and then ensure that that tile was being worked by a citizen. And if you'd like to learn more about citizen management, check out the first link in the description. I have a full video on citizen management and exactly how it works. Other ways to produce faith include buildings. So the shrine is the first building that you'll want to get. Research that early technology, build the shrine, and start generating faith. That is fundamentally the way that you will probably build faith in the early game, because you may not necessarily be able to rely on features in the map. Also, world wonders will provide you with faith. We'll cover that in a little bit, but Stonehenge is the one to go for. I'd also like to quickly touch on social policies. You can see them here on the screen. There is the piety social policy, which has some good benefits if you're planning to go in with a really heavy faith game, but the piety tree itself doesn't actually produce a lot of faith for you. So it's about making the most of your faith. You can see like discounts with purchases. That one is particularly good for a big faith build. So I'm going to grab it here, but more on policies later because they do have another role in the later game. In terms of back to how we generate faith, you can see here also certain ruins will give faith. This one gave me 40 points. That's incredible in the early game when most civs can't produce faith and you've got a shrine, maybe you're ticking along at 1 or 2 faith per turn. Getting a massive influx is huge. And you can see here, again, just touching back on Stonehenge, plus 5 faith a turn. You can see now I'm up to plus 10 a turn, which is a lot for the early game, just by focusing on a couple of small things. I've managed to generate quite a bit of faith. You can see now I just skipped ahead a little bit, a few more turns, and now I'm producing a whopping 13 faith a turn, and it's only 760 BC. So that's just sort of some of the different ways that you can accumulate it. It is a little bit messy. The most reliable way would be to build the shrine and then build the temple. Now, let's move on to actually what we do with our faith and founding religions. So, faith is essentially spent on units, potentially buildings, and also in the later game, great people. More on that toward the end of the video. But you can see here, I purchased a pagoda, and I'll show you how to do that soon, just to generate more faith, right? And so the idea is you just sort of slowly build up, focus in on specific faith-generating buildings, and build it up that way, because that really is the best way to do it. The last sort of broad type of building that you might want to use is, as you can see here, wonders. There are certain wonders in the game that will provide faith. Obviously, there can only be one on the map at a time, so you do have to be quite quick to get them. You need to unlock the theology tech, so I would recommend that you rush sort of the top of the tech tree to get to theology quite quickly so that you can build these wonders that you can see here. They're quite good, you know, generating sort of between 3 and 8 faith and other bonuses along the way, including generating a great prophet who you will need to found your religion. But before that, let's move on to creating a religion. The first step is to found a Pantheon, and you'll do that once you've accumulated some faith in the early game. I'm bouncing back in time here to show you that I've just accumulated enough faith, and it has automatically prompted me to found a Pantheon. Now, there are lots of different bonuses, but when you found a Pantheon, you get to pick one. And they are unique as well. So once a player chooses one of these, another player can't pick it. You can only take one of these, and once you take it, no one else can get it. These Pantheon beliefs are quite important as another way to generate faith in the early game. You can see here, God King is a good one, just generically provides +1 faith and gold and production and science and culture in the palace, which is in your capital. So I would recommend when you're founding a Pantheon, particularly if you're not playing a civ that has other ways to generate faith like I am, which most of them don't, that you choose something that allows you to generate faith. Now, you can see like stone circles is +2 faith from quarries. So if you have a lot of quarries, you should choose that. Fertility rates is also a good one. It's just general growth. But desert folklore, +2 from desert tiles. So there are lots of different Pantheon beliefs to choose from, and I'd recommend that you choose whatever one is best for you. After you've accumulated a certain amount of faith, sort of between 150 and 200, you'll earn a great profit. This will be the first thing that you'll earn from your faith, and the great profit is the main faith unit in the game, and the great profit has lots of different use cases. It can build tile improvements, it can spread your religion, but fundamentally, as you can see here on the left hand side, you can use it to found your religion, and that is definitely what you can do, what you should do, because there are only a certain number of religions allowed in a game. It tends to be number of players -1, so you need to get in quick. You can see here I get to fully customize my religion. It's absolutely wonderful, so you can choose a symbol and name it whatever you please. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it Jumboism. A little self-centered, I know, but whatever, we're going to go with it. So you can see my Pantheon belief stays with the religion, so we're still getting that God King. And now we can select a founder belief and a follower belief. The founder belief is obviously for me. It's for my civilization as the founder of the religion. The follower belief can be milked, I was going to say, can be used by any city and any civilization that is following the religion. So it's not just unique to you. So whatever you assign as the follower belief, other players are going to get to use that if you spread your religion to them. So there are lots of good things here. I'm looking for money, so I'm going to choose tithe, but you can choose whatever you please. The follower belief is particularly interesting because the follower belief gives you another way to generate faith by means of cathedrals, mosques, and pagodas. These are buildings that can be built in a city while it's following the religion, right? Because it's a follower belief. While it's following a religion, you can use faith to purchase these buildings. You can see monasteries, mosques, pagodas. They all have slightly different bonuses, but by and large, you're getting faith, culture, and happiness from them. So they're very powerful, very powerful. And again, another way to start ramping up your faith production and generating more and more faith. So I would recommend for your first follower belief, choose one of those. I'm going with pagodas. And that's it. We've founded our religion. You can see that's done. Our great prophet has enabled us to found our religion. And there it is. I've got followers. You can see if you hover over it, you can see there's 1 follower of my Pantheon in Dublin. And I've got 4 followers of Jumboism. And you can see that religious pressure. It'll slowly emanate out and spread to other cities. Now, flash forward in time, I've got my second great prophet. Again, just from accumulating faith. In the early game before the industrial era, it's totally random. You just need to accumulate faith to have a chance of producing a great prophet. So I accumulated over 150, and I got this guy. And now I can use the found religion, but in this case, enhance religion feature to add even more benefits to my religion. So again, you can see there's a second follower benefit. And then finally, an enhancer benefit, which is just for me. So I'm going to look through this list. Again, we could choose another religious building if we wanted to, right? We could pick another one and just build more and more and more and produce more and more faith. But fundamentally in Civ 5, you can't win the game with faith. It's not like Civ 6. So you may get to a point where actually you're producing so much faith you don't know what to do with it. I'm going to choose Holy Warriors, which allows me to use faith to purchase pre-industrial land units. It's a little strategy you can use if you're going hard on faith, and I'll show you how it works as we progress through the video. It's pretty strong. And then finally, also, I'm going to get an enhancer belief, which is just for me. One more quick note on the Holy Warriors belief that I've put into the religion. Remember, other players can use it too. So when you spread your religion, they can use it as well. So if there's another player going hard on faith, you maybe don't want to spread your religion to them early in the game, or you might not want to pick that, up to you. But by and large, it's an absolutely great thing to pick. Now, let's move on to religious units. There are 3. There's the Great Prophet, and then you can use faith to purchase Missionaries and Inquisitors. So here you see I've purchased a missionary in Dublin. A missionary allows you to spread your religion. They are a civilian unit, so watch out, because barbarians or enemy players can instantly capture them, just like settlers. So, take 2. Here's my missionary. I walk it into foreign lands. You don't need open borders. And then I click spread religion. That will then spread Jumboism to Berlin. So you can see at the moment Berlin doesn't have any. I've spread 750 sort of strength worth. And now Berlin has 4 followers. Why was it 750 strength? Well, each turn that a missionary or a religious unit is in enemy territory, it degrades its strength by 250. And you'll see that just here. You can see attrition minus 250. And now in the bottom left, my missionary only has 500 strength. So every turn that you end your turn in enemy territory, your missionary will suffer from attrition. Now you can see it's down to 250 strength. So I'm going to quickly run over and use its final use, it has 2 uses by default, to spread the religion, my religion, Jumboism, not the religion, my religion, to Hamburg. The missionary then disappears because it's used both of its spread religion abilities. And now you can see Jumboism is in Berlin and Hamburg, and there's pressure emanating out of these cities and spreading, so they're sort of forcing the religious pressure on themselves. Now let's talk about Inquisitors. They're quite interesting. So you can buy them, again, with faith, and the Inquisitor works just the same as the missionary, but when you send it to a city, it will remove the religion. So it's kind of like the opposite of the missionary. Also, if you have an Inquisitor based in your city, based in your friendly city, essentially kind of garrisoned there, right? If you just leave it in the city, it will defend the city from religious attacks. So religious attacks from foreign religion missionaries will be less effective. So buy Inquisitors and leave them in your city to defend it from religious attacks, or send them out, just like you would with missionaries, and remove religions. They're very strong, but you have to use them carefully. And you can see here that basically, so what's the end game then? What's the strategy with faith? Well, as you just saw, I can use faith because of my Holy Warrior's ability in my religion to purchase units. So it's insane. I can actually buy units at this stage in the game with faith. I can buy military units, right? Which is just mad because I'm producing so much faith. And you can see here I'm the only one with a religion except for this other Pantheon. Toward the later game, there's also another use. You can buy great people depending on which culture trees you've unlocked. So, if you focus down these social policy trees after the industrial era, you will be able to use your faith to purchase certain great people. If you complete tradition, it's the great engineer. If you complete honor, it's the great general, naturally. Commerce, it's the great merchant, naturally. Exploration, it's the great admiral. And of course, rationalism is great scientist, and aesthetics is great writers. Are great writers, artists, and musicians. So once you complete each tree, you can actually purchase great people with faith. And that's the ultimate end game here for your faith, probably. Complete your tree, let's say you're going science, complete the rationalism tree, and then use your faith not only to purchase units and spread your religion with missionaries and defend it with inquisitors, but you'll ultimately be able to purchase great scientists. That has been my whirlwind guide to faith in Civ 5. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me some feedback down below. I always read the comments and reply to them. I love them all. Leave a like rating if you enjoyed it and if you'd like to see more. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.